process rather than the results? What do you want to see in these last few games as you get to the playoffs?
I think in the last four, there is some consistency with the other team generating off speed, off the rush. Right there, I don't think any of these four. Maybe these guys a little more than the next three, but they're all going to try to beat you with speed off the rush, and that's a critical part to our game. I think you go back, I don't know when it was, Katie, it was sometime in December, I was complaining about our rush defense. I just didn't like it at all. And I feel the opposite of it now. It's been very good. I think the home game against Montreal, we didn't care for it. We gave up too much chaos off the rush. It wasn't necessarily rush to the back of our net. It was rush, and we never got things sorted out after. And since that, I've liked it an awful lot. It was very strong against Toronto. I don't think that was Toronto's A game. But I like that, so I look at that as our priority.
Carter Verhaeghe didn't take part in
Yeah.
line rushes. Is it an injury, or is he just getting today?
It's a maintenance day for him. He will be available to us for Buffalo if everything stays course.
And looking at the replacements, you're getting Sturm back in there.
Yeah.
And I would assume trying to look at some different things to keep that fourth line together, keep that second line together.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we're looking at things, but the only thing that we were trying to accomplish over the last 7-game block is certain players, Barkov and Reinhart, not playing back-to-back. That was the idea. Other than that, we're just healing guys as fast as they can. If they're ready to play, we'll play them. But I am looking at different combinations now. I think the Nosek line has been very consistent the last 4 or 5. They played incredibly well. So we'll just keep them together as a run, and then Sturm comes back, and we'll get a look at Boquist and Rodriguez with those two. I was pleased with the Lundell line. I thought they showed some things that we haven't seen from them. I think Brad has a lot to do with that. There was an offensive component to their game that hadn't been there. And then we've got a pretty good handle on the rest of the guys are going to look like when they get healthy.
And Mackey with Barkov and Reinhart, that
yeah,
could be something,
we played it in a game. I don't think it was a great team game, so I didn't over-assess that, but I'd still like to see it. There's an awful lot of speed there. I think, Sam Reinhart can find those guys, but that speed on 2 of them should be good.
And does Mackey, just the way he plays the game right, does that play into you putting, he's going to be fine.
What I'm looking for more there is there some sort of offensive chemistry that if you were at a game and you were chasing it and you didn't like some other way things were going, would you consider putting that together? You need to have a feeling that at some point there was some action there. So even you go, Bennett, Kachuk, and Samoskevich have played 4 periods together, and it was good. There was something there. So that's all you're looking for. It doesn't have to be a 10-game run. It's just, is there a spark when those guys go together? Can they find each other?
And just in general, with moving around lines and whatnot, just the little experiment right now, the value of that in case you do have to do that during the playoffs.
It's really important because you have new people in, and you don't have a year to learn these things. A lot of times you just move people around kind of organically. One guy gets injured, you pop a guy in there, and you get to look at it for 4 or 5 games. You bring some new people in, you just have a really condensed amount of time to get a feel. You're just looking for some sort of feeling of chemistry. It's like the Reinhart-Barkov combination. You thought it was right 2 years ago, but you played them 20 games, and they had done it 2 years in a row. It just wasn't there. And the next time you put them back together, it was there. So you're just looking to feel. If it may not be the way they start, it may not be the structure that we have, but if we get ourselves an injury, or you're chasing a game, or you're shutting a game down, what have you seen in the past that works?
And Bob tonight.
Correct.
Having Ekblad back on the ice just would mean to be able to see him and out there.
Both he and Kulikov ran as a pair today. There's lots of chirping at him, and it brought a little fun back to the group. It's a little bit like you forget, right? Like you forget how big he is, and then he steps on the ice, and you're talking to your defense, and oh my God, we're big now, because now Jones is on the ice as well. So you've got this big back end. It's kind of like Matthew. You got your lines, you're putting your lines down, and we're always talking about that. And you forget about the guy because he hasn't been in the lineup for so long. You say, well, pretty good when he was back in. So having him out there is just a reminder of how good a player he is, and it was great to have him back.
And we asked you yesterday about that. What changed that he's allowed to be out there?
Well, we were just waiting for the PA and the league to decide on the date because it's a moving date, which makes it unusual because it's into the playoffs and the date. So we just kind of, they would sort it out and they'd agree on a date and called us and said, yeah, he's good to go. So he's boom, you're back on.
So he'll just be practicing with you guys?
He's full,
Is he
yeah.
allowed to be with?
Yeah, he's full on now. He's back in. He's just not playing. Yeah.
So he could, I know you've only got the back-to-back to Tampa, but theoretically, could he travel to Tampa with you?
Yeah, he can do whatever we want him to do. He's back with the group.
What has been the most impactful aspect of the way that no-suck line has been playing?
The physicality of it. But in order to be physical, you have to get to a certain rate of speed. So I think they set in their minds they wanted to get in and get on the forecheck. It's not even, there's a point to it. Want to get on the forecheck, want to play in their end. So now they're moving their feet, and they've just carried that over. I think sometimes you just need a little bit of it's not a wake-up call. That's not fair. But Thomas kind of came out of the lineup when Sturm came in. And then when he got his chance to get back in, he's going to let it, he's not just playing the game anymore. He's fighting for his job or a job. And that just raised the energy. The same with Gage. Gage has been in on the lineup. Mostly it's due to injury over the start of the year. And then it was depth. But they've gone back in and they're legitimate now. And there's a certain style to them. They have an identity to that line. So what they need to do is run as many possible games as they can consistently, and you'll get to a point where you say, okay, I know exactly what they're going to look like if I put them in the lineup.